the enigmatic allure of the avoidant heart, an elusive riddle wrapped in a mystery, nestled snugly within the labyrinth of the human condition. Today, dear friends, we embark on a journey through this intricate maze as we delve into unlocking the avoidant's heart, what actually makes them commit. Our quest is not for the faint of heart, nor for those who merely skim the surface of human connection. No, this odyssey requires a keen eye and the patience of a seasoned detective, one who understands that the most profound truths are often hidden beneath layers of complexity, much like the finest French truffle. Imagine, if you will, a grand chessboard, each piece meticulously placed by the masterful hand of life itself. Here, the avoidant heart stands as the elusive knight, darting in unexpected patterns, skillfully evading capture. To the untrained eye, it appears aloof and detached, yet there is a depth of strategy and intent beneath its seemingly capricious moves. To unlock this heart, one must first understand its language, a dialect spoken in whispers and shadows, where vulnerability is both feared and revered. I once met a gentleman named Charles, a man of considerable intellect and charm, with a penchant for solitude that bordered on the monastic. He was, by all accounts, a quintessential avoidant. To the world, he was a brilliant architect, crafting edifices of stone and steel that reached for the heavens. Yet, within the fortress of his own heart, Charles was a recluse, wary of allowing others to breach his carefully constructed defenses. Now, one might ask, what could possibly compel such a guarded soul to commit? Ah, therein lies the crux of our exploration. You see, Charles once confided in me that it was not the grandeur of love that drew him forth, but rather the quiet persistence of a woman named Eleanor. She was not a tempestuous storm, but a gentle, unwavering breeze that gradually eroded the walls he had erected with such diligence. Through her patience, understanding, and the occasional wry smile, Eleanor became the key to unlocking Charles's heart. In the realm of the avoidant, commitment is not an act of surrender, but a carefully weighed decision, akin to a climber choosing the next foothold on a treacherous ascent. It requires trust, a commodity rarer than gold in such hearts. Trust is not given lightly. It must be earned through consistency and authenticity, much like the slow, deliberate crafting of a fine wine. Eleanor provided Charles with the safety of predictability, showing him that love need not be a chaotic force, but rather a steady hand in a tumultuous world. Consider, if you will, the tale of the tortoise and the hare, a classic fable that illustrates the virtue of steadfastness over impetuousness. The avoidant heart is much like the tortoise, cautious and wary of the swift and the bold. It is through the slow, persistent march that the tortoise ultimately prevails, and so it is with the avoidant heart. Patience, dear friends, is the linchpin that can transform reluctance into readiness. But let us not delude ourselves with the notion that mere persistence is sufficient. No, the journey to commitment is fraught with trials that demand empathy and insight. One must be willing to navigate the turbulent waters of uncertainty and fear that roil beneath the avoidant's calm exterior. It is a dance of subtlety and nuance, where the slightest misstep can send the participant retreating into their shell. I recall a rather amusing anecdote involving a woman named Margaret, who fancied herself an expert in the art of persuasion. She was enamored with a fellow named Henry, whose heart was as fortified as the Rock of Gibraltar. Margaret, in her exuberant zeal, attempted to breach Henry's defenses with an army of grand gestures and declarations of undying affection. Alas, her efforts were met with a polite, yet unmistakable retreat. It was only when Margaret adopted a more measured approach, one that mirrored Henry's own pace, that she began to see the fruits of her labor. She learned to speak his language of subtlety, offering small gestures of kindness and understanding that gradually coaxed him from his stronghold. In doing so, Margaret discovered that the key to unlocking the avoidance heart lies not in overwhelming force, but in the gentle art of meeting them where they are. Let us also consider the role of self-awareness in this intricate dance. The avoidant heart is often guided by deeply ingrained patterns of avoidance, forged in the fires of past experiences. To commit, they must first confront these patterns and embrace the possibility of change. It is a task that demands courage and introspection, akin to an artist staring into the blank canvas of their own soul, brush in hand. As we traverse this winding path, let us not forget the importance of humor, a balm for the soul and a bridge between hearts. An avoidant may guard their emotions with the tenacity of a dragon hoarding its treasure, but laughter has a way of slipping through the cracks. It is a reminder that life, in all its complexity, need not be taken too seriously. A well-timed jest, delivered with warmth and sincerity, can transform a moment of tension into one of connection, a spark that lights the way to deeper understanding. And so, we find ourselves at the crux of our inquiry. What makes the avoidant commit? It is not a single act or grand gesture, but a tapestry woven from the threads of patience, trust, empathy, and humor. It is the realization that love is not a destination, but a journey, one that requires courage and the willingness to step into the unknown. As we draw this exploration to a close, let us remember that the avoidant heart, like all hearts, is capable of profound love and commitment. It may take time, and it will surely require effort, but the rewards are well worth the journey. For in unlocking the avoidance heart, we not only discover the beauty of connection, but we also unlock the door to our own potential for growth and understanding. So, dear friends, as you navigate the intricate dance of human connection, may you do so with grace, patience, and a touch of humor. For in the end, it is these qualities that hold the key to unlocking the avoidance heart, and indeed to unlocking our own hearts as well.
If you believe this video might help someone dear to you, share it with them. A small gesture on your part could mean the world to a friend in need.